audio, test, test, test. Alright, what's up guys? Today we are dismantling a tower. It's the one right next to the new one we just built in the previous episodes, called Eiken. So first I'm gonna move the antenna from the old one to the new one, and then we're gonna start dismantling the old one. And since they're so close, we're gonna have to start building or adding more and more log line as we go down. Do the rotor clearance. Alright. SlingTalk. Camera's good. Also trying to talk a little bit about approaches today. Some people have been asking me like how I judge the approaches on altitude. Obviously now we have 2,020 feet on the altimeter on this one. So that's going to be my ground reference for when I fly stuff back here later. The dismantled parts of the tower. And once we get up into a hover now, that's stable at the max length of the line, right here, it's 2080. So, this is a 60-foot line, plus we have to adjust for the height of the actual load itself. That's not going to be on the first load, that's going to be on the maybe second or third, but we can talk a little bit more about that. First now we're gonna move stuff from the old one to the new one. And this is gonna be just taking it really, really slow. Also on the approaches here, I watch He's just gonna get ready here. We look at our altitude, 2,300 feet. Or 340 feet. Looks like a pretty good starting point.
Ja, da vil du komme inn.
Ok, da gir du bare beskjed når jeg kan løfte på radio da.
Ja.
So he's gonna be down in the tower, so I'm gonna have to give him the line, and then I'm gonna tighten it up. And once I see that he is clear and he gives me the radio call for go, I'm gonna start to slowly tighten it up. Kan du se at den stroppen henger korrekt?
Ja, det.
Loosening the bolts.
Ja, vad blir det här?
Keep attention.
Ja, det är lugnt.
Moving a little bit. Remember to keep attention now. Be ready to pull in case it starts tipping. Bolts are getting in on one and two sides. A little bit of a wind gust coming here. Get attention back in the line. Oh, yeah. Ok, da setter jeg meg bare ned og venter litt, og så kan du bare ringe på igjen når dere er klar for å begynne å demontere seksjonene.
Ja, det är god. Det var bra levert.
Takk for det, bra jobba.
Ligger på en radio hvis du prater.
Er du det? Alright, I'll talk more on the next one. That was pretty... So technically it's not the hardest stuff in the world, but it's just the risk factor is pretty high compared to normal, or what I normally do. So that's kind of why I went a little quiet. You can probably see my arm tense up there. Basically it's just standing still, that's all I'm doing. Then moving a little bit to move the sling to the next tower, and then standing still again. Alright, I'm going to shut down and then come back when it's ready for the actual dismantling. They're just going to put the new tower online now, so that's going to take about an hour, so see you in a bit. Alright, we are back again. We have 21 meter line on now, and we're going to start disassembling the tower.
Bra tillskruvad.
Ja, så är det. Alright, so 21 meter on the first section, and then I believe 21 meter on the second. I'm gonna have to do some quick maths. But yeah, basically we're gonna take one section, put a little bit more line on the cargo hook, and then so on and so forth. The longest I think today will be either 48 or 42 meter line. Okay, looks good. Like so, everything's clear. Collective creeps a little bit without the lock on. Skid is up. Skids are clear. 6 meter. Going up to 21 meters. 21. We have altitude 2,100.
Så går vi opp til bilen der og tar imot.
Ja. Da er jeg på vei med helikopter.
Ja, det er god.
Warning. Terrain. Terrain. Warning. Terrain. Terrain.
It's always fun to remember. I forget, rather. Alright, so 2,400. That's what we said last time, I think. Start here again. See how that goes with the altitude. And then I can use 2,400 for the remainder of the mission. As a starting point, that is. Alright, I got my guy in sight. Just got it hooked in. I'm gonna hold it tight while he climbs down. A little bit more forward here. Keep it steady. Now they're going to loosen the bolts. Got 100 kilo on the pressure from 100 kilos worth of pressure on the section. This should weigh around 600, maybe a little bit less. Drifting a little bit. a little bit of slack in the line. But the main thing is that I'm keeping my position and ready to lift as at any point should it tip over. Oh, if you can notice that, but I can hear the RPM of the rotor going up. That means I have above 150 kilos in the load indicator.
Ja, luft.
Take it out. That might be hard to see on the screen, but he's inside of the tower, and he just ducks down below the where the two sections meet, so that they're always below when I lift. But that might be very hard to see on camera. 500 kilos. We said 2001.
Skal vi legge de fra veien nå innover, eller motsatt vei langs veien?
Ta det som ser greiest ut.
Ja, jeg tror det går fint langs gjerdet her, da bare fra veien og innover.
Fra veien, ok, det er mottatt. Alright, so 2100 was when we just got our hook off the ground, so shoot to about, or aim to be at like 2150 maybe. That gives you an extra 50 foot. So that we are above where we're supposed to land at 2150. That's usually a lot more helpful with longer lines because it's harder to determine the height. So we got 2180, 2160. That's about 2150, and that gives us, well, I don't know how many meters, but he's got them now. Yeah, okay. Just put it down. I thought he was gonna do it himself, but I can do it. Full section. It's down. 2-1. Yeah, 30, 2-120. So that's a pretty good estimate.
Skal vi kjøre på en lengre linje nå?
Nei, jeg tror det går fint. Er dere klare på neste seksjon forresten?
Ja.
Ok, da kommer jeg opp igjen. So yeah, the same thing again. I'm just going to have to double check now, be really careful with my rotor height, because it's going to be close. It's going to be really close to the top of the new tower. It's going to be just under, I'm feeling. So 2400 as an ingress. Alright, we can start to look outside. Be really careful with the new tower there. That's going to be close. Yes, at least it's above, so. Next one I'm going to have to put on a 30-meter line. So then, same thing again. This one has one of those frost protectors, as you can see, so that's going to give or leave it out of balance towards my right now. So be careful of that when we're pulling up. Just be aware that it might tilt a little bit towards the right. We got about 100 kilos. Kilos of power or pressure. Well above the previous one, or the new tower rather. A little bit forward to the right. Kilos, that's too much. See, the problem is, and I guess it's not a problem, it's just a thing. And as soon as you're above 150 kilos, RPM increase and the lift increase, so you put more pressure on it. So you gotta keep below 150 or above 150. I want to keep it right at like 140 maybe, ideally, but that's very hard. Just a little wind gust will give easily 50 kilos of pressure. The most challenging part about this is the strength it takes in your neck. Listening to the last bolt now. They only have one bolt attached per corner. Lift. Yeah, clear. It's a frost protector, so it's going to be a bigger one further down, like towards the bottom of the tower.
Hvordan vekt har du nå?
Nå ligger de på 550 kilo cirka, så det er veldig greit på vekt.
Ja, men bra. Jeg kommer til å spørre nedover her nå, for å være sikker.
Ja, det er greit. Alright, same again. I'm gonna shoot our approach to aim for 2150-ish. Yeah, now this frost protector has to be towards the road. That way we can tilt it the correct way. And yeah, I don't know when section number 4, I think they're wide enough that they can just stand. But these ones are, especially with the protectors, so frost protectors are quite unstable. So they might fall over the next time we come around to deliver the next section.
nærmer seg å stå på det nederste leddet mens jeg velter. Nydelig. Ja, så setter vi på 30 meter.
Ok, da skal jeg bare sette på 30 meter, og så er jeg klar igjen hvis dere er klar.
Vi er klare.
Den er god. Da ses vi fremover. Alright, so changing from 21 meter now and going up to 30 meters. And I think maybe at least one lift, of course, but I think maybe two. I kind of have to judge that over there. Now, of course, our hover height above ground is going to be a little bit different. So I can't remember what I said. I can't remember what I said the hover height just out of when we lift up. The hook is just touching the ground. It was, but now our approach is going to feel like we're a little bit higher. If we feel like we're at the same altitude like we did before on the approach, coming back here, it's kind of hit the ground, obviously. But I'm going to still use the same altitude on the approach for flying into the tower, which was, I believe, 2,400 feet. And normally, especially if you've flown for a while, you don't really need to set those types of parameters. But if you're learning to fly and you're developing this feel, it really helps to set easy parameters to follow. It just gives you more consistency, and then it's easier to adjust up and down consistently. So say I came in at 2004 and saw that was way too low, I can just go back and say, okay, so 2005 on the next one, instead of going just a little higher. Which, if you're good, might be good enough, but if you're new, probably not going to be awesome.
Check the border.
Yes, please. Alright. Going on. Yeah, go for it. Lift or section number 3. Remember, our point of reference is going to be a little bit further forward. A little bit further forward in the sling window. double check that all my seatbelts and loose articles, nothing can fall in and annoy me while we're doing this, because there's quite a lot of, it's quite strenuous to look down that long and be concentrating for that long. Alright, 380, that's close enough to 2004. Helps 2004. Start our ingress. So this section looks clean. No weight on either side. That's going to give it an uneven CG, or rather not a uncentered CG. Alright, already. We are pretty much in position. We are in position. Yeah, we're gonna need 36 meter on the next one, I think. Right now we are pulling 160 kilos. And now as we're going down, the sections are going to get heavier and heavier, so laying above 150 at 160 or 170 kilos of pressure should be fine, as opposed to the lighter ones on top. If you come close to 200 kilos, you're going to be lifting half the weight of the tower, or the module rather. There, the RPM going up. Kilos on power, so going to decrease a little bit down to 200. Give me the left or the lift. Clear. Next section is going to be the biggest problem, I think. Potentially the biggest problem. Because of the uneven weight.
Lux pulling now.
Vekt 510 kilo.
Ja, tipper neste hele blir tyngste.
Den er mottatt. Vi har masse power å gå på. Really hope I put the camera correctly so that you can see that. I know sometimes it's hard to see what's happening down here. If I'm too far back like this, I can still see it over my arm. But I have to keep the camera completely out of my line of sight so that I have a clear vision, because just partly obscuring one eye really messes with your sense of depth. Alright, we're aiming for 2150 again.
Kan den her klare å stå av seg selv, eller er det usikker? Jeg tenker hvis vi er usikre, så legger vi det ned, for ellers vi må jo klatre og hente tropper uansett. Ja, du får bare se, ta en avgjørelse du om du tror han skal legges ned. Ja, jeg kommer legge den ned. Han er ikke så stor her nede.
Okay, I'm drifting like a motherfucker. Gotta keep my head in the same spot. And it's getting windier, it feels like. Alright, he stood on the one. Pressure, keep center.
Var det greit med den lina, eller må du ha mer? Nå blir det 36.
Flying tailwind right now. Oh, the wind's coming that way, maybe. Okay. Release the old one. Alright, so going up to 36 meter line. As I said before, this section might be the most, the riskiest, if you will, due to the fact that it has these frost protectors on. When I come in, it's going to be on this side here. So it's going to fall away from the other tower, which is good, I guess, but still not ideal. I think I'm gonna do one more section probably, and then one more section probably, and then
Jeg forstår det ikke sånn, hvis du tar ned bauden for min del, altså.
I forgot what I was supposed to say. I got distracted. But anyways, we got 36 meter. Just count as we go up to make sure. That's 6. 236. Right above ground we have 2,180. Call it 22. So I don't need any more altitude. As the wind is coming from this direction on this one here. So what I might do is go in the way we have been going, but then turn to face pretty much this way. Also try to feel it a little bit with turning slowly with the pedals as they hook or unscrew the section. Pimba in sight, going towards him. He's got the hook. The hook is loaded. Okay, so they got 3, okay. So they're probably also, as we discussed on the ground, they're also anticipating it might change shift when we lift it. Kilos of pressure. Decrease a little bit. It's also nice. Nice to see that I have the new tower in sight, which is one we built in episode. Can't remember. It was Eiken part 3 of 2, I believe. So this is going to be Eiken part 4 of 2. Also doing like flying like here, I have a better reference having my the old tower and the load at the back of the sling window, and then I have the new tower towards the front of the sling window, so that kind of gives me an alignment to keep. Feels like there might be a little bit of crosswind from the front left, but nothing. I'd rather have a little bit of crosswind and the good side picture. $230 kilos of pressure. My position. A little bit forward to the left, or forward to the right rather. Back towards the left. Here I feel we got a pretty dead center lift. Or dead center lifting point rather. Frequency. 220 kilos of lift, of pressure. Keep my position. port forward. Kilos of lift. That's a little bit much. Take it down to 250 again. Try and keep moving my eyes back and forth between the lift and the new tower.
Ja, lufta!
Keep my position. Rotating. Hitting dangerous situation. So it was way heavier than what I was supposed to be. Den var 1000 og ja, 1100 cirka.
Ja, men det er mye stål i lista her, så.
Ja, han var tyngre enn jeg trodde.
Ja, de må innrømme at det vant til meg også.
Nei, men det gikk bra. Men det var vel den tyngste, var det ikke det?
Ja, uten tvil.
Det er good. Da er jeg så å si klar igjen til neste seksjon med en gang.
Ja, vi er klare, vi også.
Ja, så...
Skal vi prøve å legge den ned? Eller han får breie den?
Vi prøver, men han er jævlig tung. Han veier 1000 kilo.
Ok, jeg prøver på den plattformen mot veien, og så tar jeg en stråk rundt nede for å holde igjen.
Oh, settling. There's a settling of power right here. So I didn't do what I usually like to do. I didn't use enough power early. That is just not a comfortable feeling. But anyways, got it back under control, stopped my rate of descent. Now I'm ready for the delivery. Just gonna take it super nice and easy. Quite easy to over torque. Alright, so put it down first. There we go.
Hold on, Bullshinder.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to lose enough altitude to get a pull going, but the problem is the weight is the wrong direction. So I'm gonna, yeah. Alright, I have to get off center here. That was the weirdest thing I've ever done. Jesus Christ. I don't know if that was too smart.
Skal jeg ta det på, eller?
Ja, 36 går fint med denne.
Ok, så tenker vi gjøre det samme på den siste, og så er det greit å holde igjen med den stoppen nede.
Ja, copy. Men de blir så breie nå, så jeg vet ikke om det går an. Og det her klarer jeg akkurat å velte da, så jeg får bare se om det går an å velte de.
Ja, nei, ja, de er bare igjen.
Neste seksjon her, den er oppe i tårnet, ja.
vent Hågen.
Kan du gjenta det?
Den neste seksjonen, den tror jeg er oppe I tårnet.
Ok, det er mottatt. Da vet jeg I hvert fall om det. Det er bra. Men det er ikke noe... Denne her er ganske jevn på vekt, er ikke det?
Ja, det er en stål oppi her, men det er mindre stål I forrige, men seksjonen er større.
Ok, det er mottatt.
127, it's a pretty good amount of fuel. He said it was about, weighs about a ton. And the metric ton is fine, but the problem is if it's not all centered in where you want it to be. Definitely coming. More wind up here. Just gonna double check that. Yep. That's all we got. This weighing about a ton, it should be a problem to just keep 300 kilos of pressure. It's pretty comfortable. But I need to keep my position steady. So yeah, the previous one, that's always the danger with this type of flying is when it's proximity to something else and people. It started rotating, so I kind of pulled away quickly towards the predetermined route that I was supposed to use if I needed to pull away. Alright, so I'm gonna try to turn a little bit more into wind here. Yeah, this feels better. One thing I definitely don't want to do is be off-center towards the new tower. Because with this long of a line, if you've seen the previous episodes, you know how hard that is to stop the pendulum. Definitely going to use more power earlier in the delivery of this section than the previous one, because I settled. It wasn't much settling, and there was no horn or anything, so it was quite undramatic. But it's a situation that is easily avoidable by just using enough power early. That's a little bit on that strong side, I feel. Kilos of pressure, losing my center points. So hard on the neck. Jesus. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a break after this one. I'll change the batteries and stuff. And also, get a drink of water. Getting towards summer here in Norway. Actually, I might just leave this here, that way when I lift it I can just kind of turn towards my safe exit. operation is, as I said, is the main thing when I'm lifting the heavy sections now is to get it away from them, because I have so much altitude I can use to my advantage, to my back and left. So if I should run out of power, which I won't, but if I should, I still have like 1,000 feet to gain airspeed. Wind coming in a little bit. Oh wait, when I was turning to wind. Right about here. Something else way too much. I'm not paying attention. Give me the sign for up. 2, forward. Power. 1,000 kilos. Alright, yeah, there's a lot of steel on this one too.
Hvor langt unna var det?
Nå er vi, det var 1000 kilo den også, så ja, det var bare å gjette.
Ja, jeg tipper nesten ble 1000 nå, for det er ikke noe stål oppi her, kun kabel.
Ja, det er mottatt. Da må jeg bare lande først, så skal jeg hive på litt lengre line.
Det er god.
Da er jeg på med deg, Hagen.
Det blir stående på denne.
Ja, det tror jeg skal gå fint.
Kan du fly opp de materialene etterpå før du tar det siste? Bare for å fri opp plass til å sette inn der for tidsdag, kanskje?
Nei, det går ikke. Jeg må ha 52 meter lina, eller 48 meter lina for det.
Så det er en del som stikker lenger ned enn den klarer ikke å stå. Så plattformen stikker jo ned for.
Ok. Det er så fucking close to max den her. Jeg må ha fuel på neste. Jeg må se den midt i veien her.
Ja, den kommer til kvelder.
Kom en vei.
Under plattformen stikker den 30-40 cm ned med en brød.
Ja, ok. Da burde det jo stå bra, da. Hvor vil du ha den?
Nei, skal vi prøve å legge den ned?
Ja, hvis det går det. Bare gjør noe.
Ja, ikke her. Vi må få den innpå.
Alright, pay attention.
Da må vi prøve her å legge den ned
Ja, den kommer til å dette mot den forrige seksjonen nå. Jeg kan se hvordan det, hvis jeg lenker den, bare se og følge med når det treffer på andre seksjonen der nå.
Så vi klarer å vri den litt fort her nå.
So we managed to get the last section down. That's when the battery cut, or the last module. So now we're just putting on the last 6 meter extension. And we're gonna put, or go pick up the last section for today. I mean, 1,000 kilos a day is pretty heavy. I mean, it's not, pressure's fine. air pressure. We do have floats on, doesn't really help. Positive note though, now they're going to climb down the tower and the outside of the tower. So basically after they lift, they don't have to touch anything, and they're not inside the tower, which means they won't be of any risk of squeezing them. So that's really reassuring for me. 42 meter now. I'm gonna have him move his car probably. Yeah. I do believe that is necessary. Maybe we can just stand it up. Yeah, should be enough room in there. Alright.
Hvis det ikke er nok plass mellom den som ligger der, de som ligger der, til å ha den stående, for den har ikke stått på neste. Kanskje bare flytte bilen ut i veien, så jeg får plass.
Ja, men det er vi ikke skulle legge, men jeg har flyttet den akkurat mens jeg legger ned den.
Alright, let's count together. 6 meters. 12.
Alternativet er jo bare å slinge den materialpakken bare rett ut på taket her, og så sette det der så den står.
Det går jo an å gjøre, ja.
A little distracted there. Let's see here. This is yeah, okay. So down here, yeah, I got my center point somewhat. He's gonna figure out something because we're running out of space a little bit.
Ja, du kommer her og tar den.
Jeg henter noe steg igjen nå, så flytter man. Kan man flytte den, ja, ikke flytte den så langt.
We're just gonna move, I forgot about that. We're gonna move this load down here. Alright, too fast. So patch my
Nei, bare ta ned i gjerdet, og da må jeg jo hive på meg linje uansett.
son of a bitch. The thing of with going up, like decreasing long line size or long line length is no problem, but increasing is sometimes a lot harder. I'm just gonna put it down over here, then I'm gonna go pick up the last section. I really feel the tailwind swinging now. Load is free. Alright, let's go get the last one. Switch to that radio.
Ok, da er jeg på vei med lina for siste seksjon. Ja, klar da.
They're ready. So it's going to be the same again, 2004. What is worth noting is if you're in a day that the pressure changes rapidly, sometimes it might Like, it's not often, but sometimes it can change to like almost 10 in a day. So that's a lot of altitude. So you got to be wary of that. So we'll also use outside references. So I got 2004, and I know how the top of the new tower is going to look at 2,400 feet. And then basically just start shooting for that, shooting for the top of the tower with the same side picture. A little bit of pendulum going. Just got it. Alright, the one guy's on ground already, outside. Just get to see. Just give me the sign to lower it back down to him. He looks like he got it wrong with the slings, but should be good now. Fuel wise, we just fueled up, so we have 43 liters. Close to 30%, so that will give us a lot of playtime. Plenty, and enough that I don't have to watch the fuel gauge at all. I'm not saying you should watch your fuel gauge buying slings like these, but if sometimes. Well, basically what I'm saying is it's always better to be safe. So that if you feel like you might have a fuel enough, one more go, and then you go up and try to do that, but then one of the bolts is stuck, or the bolt is rusted. Now you got a case. Powers, 180 powers, 180 kilograms of force. The side picture is pretty good. Got the top of the tower in sight, barely. Definitely going to be careful not to lift it forward and right. So any lift has to go left or rearwards. My neck is killing me again. Took about 2 minutes for that to get sore again. Already stood on the ground, so technically I don't need to apply pressure right now. So what's going to happen is they're going to unscrew them and then go outside. But I like to practice. Spider on this fucking swing window. I wonder if you're an arachnophobe. enough to really fuck you up. Barely any pressure. Like, hurts. Climbs outside. Copy. Want to go backwards. Don't want to go forwards at all. 700 power, 700 kilos. 800. Getting close to 9. Lifting on one side, and it's free. 900 kilos. Comfortable weight.
Hva er cruisen din, eller?
Den var rett over 900 den.
Ja, ja.
Er dere klar for å sende ut ei retur hivende ifra masta?
Ja. Og en inni der så den pallen sto, så ikke hvilken du vil sette hvor.
Det var dobbelt. Kan du gjenta du?
En inne med der som vi tok pallen fra, og en her ute med veien skal det være plass til, stående.
Ja, dette er siste.
Ok, ja, jeg trodde det var... Ja, stemmer. Da kan du velge. Med pallen eller her med veien?
Ta den der med veien, der så er det flatest, gjør ikke det?
Ja... Da prøver jeg her, så ser.
Ja, bare ta den plassen så du synes jeg forventer seg for.
Last section, and then I'm gonna go get the last of the return slings. We're gonna fly one sling in, the one that I just moved, before getting this section. So I did not look at my altimeter, so I'm coming in a wee bit high. A wee bit. Watch my drift.
Kan du ta med 2 klapper da, så får vi gjort det litt mer? Vi hadde med mer.
Ja, heng på 2 stopp, ja, det er mottatt.
Bare en 6 meter mellom de to nederste seksjonene.
Altså mellom 15 meter til kroken og så her?
Ja, mellom de to nederst, altså 15 meter, altså den som er over 15 meter.
Gonna add another 6 meters for the last one.
But anyways, yeah, the last one went pretty well, I'd say. It was nice and comfortable at 900 kilos instead of closing on max. One thing to note.
Då ska vi ha med materialhuvud.
Heng på det, altså, ja, to stopper i tillegg.
3 eller 6 meter?
6 meter.
Yeah, so now we have, how much line do we have now? 42 plus 6, that is 48 meters. Adelante. So the hard part is done, should be. So I've got to be extra careful now. Don't lower my shoulders too early. Complacency is can be very dangerous. Moving backwards is, back and left is hard. Back and left towards my leg is, yeah. I could never do it.
Så skal du opp med det og ned med hiv og så er vi ferdig med last da.
Jeg vet ikke hvor mange turer det er. Det må jeg sjekke.
Ok, da er jeg på vei inn med det hivet som skulle inn, og så henger det to stopper i kroken. Men jeg har ikke elektrisk utløser, så dere må bare vri på det lille hjulet inn i kroken for å løse ut stoppene. Ja, det er god.
Yeah, so 2004 should still be fine for my starting points. I don't know exactly where we're going though, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of a wide approach to see where we're going. Out of trim like a mother to the right. From here, just gonna torque turn around into wind. Stop it a little bit with the pedal. Okay, let's see. Oh, there he is. Sometimes it's hard to see with yeah, there he is. If you stood in the shadows, it's sometimes hard to see them. Use the new mass as a reference. See them stopped. Start going forward. Let it go. Just gonna use the power here. Good thing I put on that extra 6. I was contemplating not doing it. So it's gonna be a multi-level lift back now. Straight tail, and basically I can see that on the line. Just be careful now. Pull away from the tower a little bit. So hit a G. So there's a box or something. Var det den eska her du ville ha på hengeren?
Ja, vi får den skal vi henge, ja.
Den er mottatt. Hvor mange returhiv har dere?
Ja, 2 til.
Den er mottatt. 2 more return lifts. Etter denne hivet så har de 2 returløft til. Og så den eska som er på her skal på hengeren på bilen. Kommer jo sekken ned først.
Ja, sekken skal være på siden, og så plassen opp på hengeren.
Affirm.
Flytter bilen er så lettere å komme inn over landingsplassen og porten der.
Ja, det ser bra ut. Move the car a little bit again, so that's nice. Gives me a little bit more room.
Skal vi sette den ned og så løfte den opp på etterpå?
Jeg får se hvordan det går. Hvis det går til helvete så gjør vi det. Men planen er så kan jeg sette sekken bak til høyre på hengeren, og så senker jeg ned kassen til deg.
Ja, så setter jeg den sekken cirka her jeg står.
Ja, ok, motsatt.
Slipper den henger her, da står sett logg.
It's like, that's shitty. Og bønner bak der.
Så tar vi.
Møt laster bak her, sånn at jeg kan gå ned.
Laster du da?
Møt lasten her bak.
Ja, vi kan se om han rekker frem.
So I didn't hear me. I don't know why. Litt. Litt løs. I didn't hear me on the
Klart ikke mye på.
Nei, sant det. Didn't hear me on the radio.
Har du nok til de 2 siste å hente det, eller?
Ja, det tror jeg. He didn't hear me on the delivery. I wanted him to come meet the bag, and then I would lower the case to him, and then we would carry the case around and put it down. But he couldn't hear it. It's probably a bad headphone connection. Which I know some of the radios, the ground radios, are pretty bad when you're right above them. Alright, got the tower. I know what the tower is going to look like when the sling hits the ground, so I'm just going to slow down real nice here. Keep moving forward. Just got it. Gives me the sign for lift. Oh, this also contains the base for the tower. Or the... I don't even want to try to say anything for it. Etter neste løft trenger dere litt tid for å gjøre klar, eller kan vi bare komme og hente dere med en gang?
Nei, vi skal være klare. Vi skal bare pakke med oss litt verktøy, og så er vi egentlig klar.
Ja, det er mottatt. Da, ja, for vi har dette hiver og ett løft til, ikke sant?
Ja.
Det er mottatt.
Det var dobbelt. Kan du hjelpe?
Man står her med den andre sekken, det er på bak hengeren.
Ja, det blir flere nivåer på denne her, ser det ut som, så jeg sikter litt lenger utifra bakhengeren da.
Ja, men alt skal bak her nå, ingenting mer som skal opp på hengeren.
Ingenting mer oppe, nei.
Ja, men de henger ikke så like 500 i det, så jeg tipper det er litt for litt.
Oh my god, same thing again. That's the problem with it. One of the problems with, one of the difficulties rather. One of the difficulties with stopping your approach too early. Before he has a chance to grab it, it's the pendulum. 2003, yeah. Same again. Come in, yeah, it's on the rocks, right where the base of the old tower was. We're gonna be cutting it too close on fuel, so I'm just gonna land and shut down after next one. Little bit pretty a little bit of a sloppy delivery. Anyways, multi-load again. Some sort of blast protection that they hooked up to it. Away.
Kanskje legge dette sånn at de klarer å rygge hengeren bak til rett med siden. Så tenker jeg ned i grøft og rett vann på deg nå.
Put this load so that they can access it with the trailer really quick, easily. So now we're gonna non-stop fucking same goddamn thing again. Jesus Christ. Yeah, buddy.
23, eller kan det stå fint?
Nei, ja, de kom på siden. Så da må du kjøre nede.
Ja, jeg ser det er close på fuelen, så vi må ha på et fuelfrack før de kan hente de.
Ja, men da hiver bare på alle tre da.
Det kan vi gjøre.
Så vi må ha en liten skulepause her borte før vi kan komme og hente dere.
Hva jenter?
Vi trenger mer drivstoff før vi kan hente dere.
Ja, det er jo.
Of course, I forgot to count again, but it was 1,